The state of New York has the responsibility to protect its citizens. It has the responsibility to help them, even when they cannot help themselves. In this case, Neely was on the streets for a long period of time. He has had mental issues for a long time, and yet he remained on the street for that long period of time. Many states like New York do this. They allow their homeless populations to stay on the street for a long period of time. This is not to say the state doesn't try to provide them shelter. They do. As a former attorney for a legal aid organization in Boston, we dealt with a lot of people who were homeless and who were put into shelters and would come in and out of shelters. The state tries to find them homes where it can. Of course, there aren't enough beds in the state and in the city to house everybody, but the state tries. This goes beyond that. If somebody is on the street for a long period of time, they become violent. It's the duty of the state to take them off the street. Now, the argument would be that if the state takes them off the street, where do they take them to? They could take them to a mental home, but state-run mental homes are not expected to be of very good quality. Anything that has to do with the state generally, providing any kind of service, is not going to be expected to have a lot of quality. The state has a specific structure. The incentive structure of a state is stability. That's why laws are so difficult to pass. That's why things are so difficult to change, because the political climate is expected to remain stable. Anytime you need something that needs services provided, anytime you need something that needs to get better over time, it's not good for the state to do it because its incentive structure is not incentivized to make sure that those things get better over time. Ideally, you'd want some kind of partnership between the state and a private entity that is structured to have better services. So not necessarily an NGO at all points, or NGOs that have better structures, that are structured to provide accountability from the top to the people it's providing services to and to other stakeholders. And so having only a state-run mental institution would not be the best, but you need some kind of institution partnered by the state, because the state has incentive to do this with or without profit, but with enough incentive for it to be very good, to be a very good structure, to be a very good hospital. This is important because, for instance, when I was in school in Washington, D.C., there was a homeless man all 1 or 2 years that I was in a specific dorm that lived just outside the dorm, across the street from the dorm. And he was there come rain, come shine, come snow. Even when it snowed and it was freezing, he still slept across from our dorm, snowing in the freezing cold. And at that point, it's no longer about letting them stay outside. There's a certain point in everybody's life where we are not able to cater for ourselves. For many people, it's from when we are younger, when we're children, babies, to a particular age. After a particular point, we expect that individuals, adults, are able to cater for themselves. But this is not always true, as those who have drug-addicted relatives, friends know. At some point, there has to be some paternalistic help provided to somebody who cannot cater for themselves. And that's the case of Neely. Now, many people like Neely die every day, apart from what just happened here, which I'd say again that unless there's evidence showing before or after, there's no evidence that this man intended to kill Neely. We don't know enough about what happened in that train to know whether the circumstances justified him trying to put him down, hold him down, and whether his reaction was proportional to whatever Neely was doing in the train. We don't have those facts yet. So until we have those facts, then we'll talk about whether this is murder or whether it was a killing. It is a killing. Whether it is murder or not is a different question. But the state of New York does need to do something about these, and other cities that have a homeless problem, like San Francisco, they need to get moving on these. Move these people out. Take them to where they can get help. Partner with institutions that have the incentive to actually help them, not just to get them out of the way, so that these people actually get better. There needs to be some responsibility and accountability expected from them, and also expected from the state to actually do something to make people's lives better. You cannot always expect people to take care of themselves. It's impossible. Nobody is ever 100% able to take care of themselves at every time. There are times when you need to step in and help people, and this is one of those times.